No Founders Day would be complete without Dr. Sato's Japanese class. Founders Day. A playful presentation. This year it's titled Townsend Harris, the Educator, Explorer, and Diplomat. Please enjoy.
Why is Anna just... Catherine, turn on different slide.
I just came back from a temple where it was so crowded. I am so tired.
Look, I think I might high school acceptance letter.
Which high school did you get?
Congratulations, bro! Congratulations, letter. Now it's your school's initiative.
What's all this commotion about?
Look, Mom, I just got my high school acceptance letter. I got into Stuyvesant. And this school called Townsend Harris.
Pranav, don't worry about it. Go clean your room. You kids need to learn practical skills that you can use in your life.
Oh my goodness! Pranav, look over here! It says the high school application is due very soon. Pranav, you must decide to which high school you want to go to right now.
I don't know which high school to go to. Both are really good schools.
Pranav, go clean your room.
Honey, give Pranav a break. This is the moment when he chooses his life's destiny.
It's an easy choice. All you have to do is write on the application, I'm going to Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant's a great school and it's got a great history.
Oh, really? I don't really know that much about Townsend Harris. Who is Townsend Harris, by the way?
I don't know much either. Let's go look him up.
Sure.
Who was Townsend Harris? Well, let's begin in 1804, a very active year for the world. The global population reaches 1 billion. Napoleon declares himself Emperor of France. The first steam locomotive was produced in Great Britain. Thomas Jefferson begins his second term as the third president of the United States. And Townsend Harris was born on October 3rd in Sandy Hills, New York. Coming from a poor family, Townsend Harris left school at age 13 to help his older brother's porcelain import business in New York City, and became junior partner of the business at only age 16. As he grew up, he became increasingly interested in politics and civil service, even serving in the New York Fire Department as a volunteer firefighter. When Harris became the president of the New York City Board of Education in 1846, there were only 2 private universities in New York University and Columbia University. A firm believer in education for all, he famously stated on March 15, 1847 in the New York Enquirer,
"The system now pursued by that excellent society and by our ward schools is the true one, and may be advantageously applied to higher seminaries of learning. Make them the property of the people. Open the doors to all. Let the children of the rich and the poor take their seats together and know of no distinction save that of industry, good conduct, and intellect."
This was the start of the Free Academy, precursor to the City College of New York. Harris resigned from the Board of Education in 1848, but the reasons for his resignation are unclear.
Well, I can tell you why I resigned. Not many people know this about me, but after my mother died, everything in my life fell apart. I developed an excessive drinking habit that dissolved not only my relationship with the Board of Education, but also my relationship with my brother. These were my darkest hours.
Wow. Well, thank you, Mr. Harris, for your insight. After resigning from the Board of Education in 1848, Harris traveled to California, and during the following 6 years, made numerous trading voyages to China and the Dutch and British Indies. This was the start of his fascination with Asia, and ultimately led to his participation in the United States' effort to open Japan to trade. The journey was extensive. It all started in 1855, as Harris left New York City and crossed the Atlantic Ocean to Liverpool, United Kingdom. He went through the English Channel to Paris, France, then around the Iberian Peninsula to Malta. His journey didn't stop there, as he went to Cairo, Egypt, and visited the pyramids, then went up north to Istanbul, Turkey, Then he backtracked and went down to the Indian Ocean and went all the way to Georgetown, Malaysia. But that still wasn't the end, as he went to Singapore, and then Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Then he went to Guangzhou, China, and it wasn't done, as he finally reached Shimoda, Japan.
Whoa, slow down there. You make it sound like the journey was easy. No, the journey was quite a challenge. Disease and malnutrition cost some men their lives. And the climate was unbearably hot in some areas. But I finally arrived at the shore of Edo, the capital of Japan.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Now, if you'll let me continue.
But that wasn't the end of it. The Japanese refused to let me speak with the shogun in Edo and sent me to Shimoda, a small fishing village that was the exact opposite of a city like Edo. Only after 18 months of negotiation did the shogun grace me with his presence. Perhaps if we used our gunships instead of our words, the Japanese would have allowed us an audience sooner. But I must say, those 18 months were not unenjoyable.
Wow. Now, Harris lived in Japan for 5 years and 9 months. While living there, some speculate that he had a romance with a geisha named Okichi, despite supposedly being an Anglican Christian and choosing to lead a life of celibacy.
That was just a nasty rumor. It never happened. My relationship with Okichi was purely professional. Nevertheless, I look back fondly on my days in Shimoda. The Japanese are a fine race of men, clean in their persons and houses. They are truly the French of Asia. I recall the fishermen hard at work.
Several southern states to secede and form the Confederacy. In 1861, Harris returned home to the United States, the same year the Civil War broke out. Harris was a very active war Democrat and supported Lincoln's efforts to preserve the Union. The South was at a severe economic disadvantage during the Civil War, and the Union initially thought that the war would be a relatively easy victory. However, the South had a moral advantage. They believed they were fighting for their way of life, and what they lacked in arms, they made up for in spirit.
Yankees can't fight and we can.
That's what I think. They'll just turn and run every time.
One side they can lick 20 Yankees.
And one back. Gentlemen can always fight better than rattle.
Yes, gentlemen always play better than rattle. And what does the captain of our troop say? Well, gentlemen, if Georgia fights, I go with her. But like my father, I hope that the Yankees will let us leave the Union.
But Ashley, they've insulted us. You can't mean that you don't want war.
Most of the miseries of the world are caused by wars. And when they were over, nobody ever knew what they were about.
Well, Ashley, Mr. Butler has been up north, I hear. Don't you agree with me, Mr. Butler?
I think it's hard winning a war with words, gentlemen.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, Mr. Hamilton, there's not a cannon factory in the whole South.
What difference does that make, sir, to a gentleman?
I'm afraid it's going to make a great deal of difference to a great many gentlemen, sir.
Are you hinting, Mr. Butler, that the Yankees can lick us?
No, I'm not hinting. I'm saying very plainly that the Yankees are better equipped than we. They've got factories, shipyards, coal mines, and a fleet to bottle up our harbors and starve us to death. All we've got is cotton and slaves and arrogance.
That's treacherous! I refuse to listen to any renegade talk.
Well, I'm sorry if the truth offends you.
Well, I'm glad we got past that war crazy school.
I agree, but we have more pressing issues to attend to.
Do you know who she is?
No, but I plan on finding out.
business, politics, education, service, and diplomacy. He was a man of many talents, but not without his own troubles.
Well, I suppose I could have had a better social life. But without me, the United States would have never opened relations with Asia, and certainly would have never uncovered the jewel of Japan.
That's true. And Harris died on February 25th, 1878, at age 74, and was buried in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. After his death, Harris was forgotten by the United States, and unfortunately still remains an obscure figure in American history. However, in 1986, Japan dedicated a gravesite including paving stones, a stone lantern, and a cherry blossom tree to Harris, in recognition of the continuing respect and affection the Japanese have for him. His legacy still stands strong. Until it closed in 1942 because of budget constraints, Townsend Harris High School produced graduates such as Jonas Salk,
Ira Gershwin, and Herbert Hauptmann, who revolutionized the arts and sciences and continue to be named synonymous with achievement. The school was refounded in 1984 by Dr. Malcolm Largman, who instilled the culture of the ephebic oath, a culture that was first forged by the ancient Spartans. From Dr. Malcolm Largman to Mr. Anthony Barbetta, Townsend Harris maintains its culture of personal, social, and academic growth.
Well, I'm pleased to know that the seeds I planted during my life have grown. Hopefully, this institution will continue to develop. Now I must take my leave. I wish you all wisdom and peace. Aude sapere.
Dare to be wise.
Farewell.
To conclude, we will now present a piece from Porgy and Bess, Summertime, composed by George Gershwin with lyrics written by Ira Gershwin, who graduated from Townsend Harris in 1914. Enjoy.
Test. Test.
Saw